Hello, hello. Well, welcome back. This is still Y in the morning. Thursday vibes is the hashtag to use at Y254 channel, that is on Facebook and Twitter, Y254 channel on Instagram. Talk to us. We have now gotten to our first conversation, and we start with some technology because, the future is all tech, and we're actually in the future. So now today, we want to get into a bit of innovation, and we have some startups with us in studio. They've come up with an interesting innovation called the mini tractor, and they will be telling us about it. So with me here on my right, we have Peter, and you will introduce yourself again. And on my furthest right, we have Jefferson. You're all from JQuat, and there's also a third one who will be joining us later on to introduce himself because they are a team of 3. So let's start with you, Peter. Introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Good morning, I'm Peter Nzioki. I am a student at JQuat. I study agricultural engineering, majoring in biomechanical section. Yes, so I am the project leader for the mini tractor.
Okay, we have the project lead there, and then we have Jefferson.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Jefferson Kitama. At JQuat pursuing strategic management. Currently, on my 4th year.
Okay, and what role do you play in this team?
I am the project manager for the mini tractor.
Project manager for the mini tractor, and then we have Ian. I believe Ian is the project engineer, but he'll be coming later on to tell us about this particular innovation, also to introduce what it does exactly. So we want to know about the mini tractor, and we'll be playing the videos and the photos of the mini tractor as they explain what it is really, because tumejua, we know tractor, some tractor tunajua tractor, the tractor. So what does it do? Ni tractor, what is it about?
So the mini tractor began as a modified motorcycle. Basically, we wanted to increase power, and then we noticed that there were challenges with getting the big farm machinery to the small-scale farmers, especially in my home area. I hail from Machakos. We noticed that the small subsistence farmers use the traditional methods of farming, which are low output methods. So we wanted to bridge that gap to bring a sort of a cheaper solution, and also a piece of machinery that they can still use for day-to-day activities. As you know, it can also, when you're done with the farm operations, you can use it as a normal motorcycle. So that is the problem we were aiming to solve.
All right, so it looks something like a motorcycle. Director, please give us the photo and the videos as we try to understand how it is and how it works. So it's a motorcycle, basically. It's not a tractor.
Yes.
And then it has a plow.
Yes, it has a plow at the back that is attached to it. So as it moves forward, it pulls the plow along with it.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with this? I don't know if Jefferson will answer that.
So the project, how we came up with it from scratch, Amo?
Yes, basically how we came up with the mini tractor from scratch.
The mini tractor started, it was a pandemic project. We started, we designed the chassis, the body, the structure and everything. So
you can see it's actually on screen.
Yeah, it's been a 2-year journey so far. We're still working on making more accessories for the bike apart from the plow. There are more implements we want to bring on later in a couple of months. So yeah.
Okay, so how is the bike different? Is the bike anything different from the normal motorbikes?
Yes. Especially from the power output perspective. We modified the engine to increase the horsepower. So it's significantly increased. It's 67% more powerful than the normal ones.
67% more powerful than hizi bike za kawaida.
Yeah, than hizi boda za kawaida. So ini project pia tuna aim at vijana wale maybe you want something fast to take you from point A to point B, fast. So pia si ya kulima peke yake.
So you
can use it instead go for the more expensive options, because with sports bikes they are more expensive. they're like 300,000. We offer ours for 110,000. That's a fraction of the price of the hizo zingine. Pia tulikuwa tunaangalia kitu ita reach pia farmers. Hiyo ndio, those are the basic differences between normal boda
bike and
na
this
yetu.
one.
Yeah.
So it's like half price the
Yeah.
normal sports bike.
Yes.
And it has 67% more horsepower
Yes.
than the normal bike.
Yes.
Wow, this is quite the deal. If you're looking for a bike, how did you come about with that? Or, how do you think about increasing the horsepower? Why?
First of all, the primary reason to increase horsepower was to allow it to do the chilling exercises well. With the normal bodas, the engine power is not enough to pull the plows and the other implements we needed to use. Sorry, and also we wanted also something that is fun to ride, that for youth, that the vijana kitu ukienda nayo, at least it won't embarrass you on the highway.
Exactly.
Yes.
Kitu inakaa, yani kitu kali.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. You can use your bike during the day, and then not during the day. During the day you want to plow your field, and then maybe later on in the evening you want to go out with your bike. So umevaa nini and you're on your bike and you're going, and it's 67% better, faster.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us the business part of it. How much did you invest in this bike, in this machine rather, because it's the bike plus the plow?
So basically our cost of development has been above 300,000 for now, and still rising. So the bike is still under development. As I said earlier, we are working on more implements, so this is going to be a bit costly because we are still yet funding the project from an internal way, from the three of us. So yeah.
So because there's just the three of you, how do you manage to get 300,000? Do you have funding? How do you get to that? So far you've used around 300,000.
Yes.
So how do you get that?
I say it's a support from our family and God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes.
Powerful. So would you want to, the government to support you? Do you have enough support as innovators, as startups, from the government?
Not yet, but hopefully in the future we might get support, because we are working to provide a two-way way for the boda bodas, instead of just using the boda bodas for logistics or transportation. We are trying to for agriculture, because if you went through the 844 system, the first thing you're told is that agriculture is the backbone of Africa and Kenya. And we are not working towards having a better improved farm mechanization strategy. Yes.
So how do you think that tech can help in agriculture, because you've brought tech to agriculture? How do you think it can boost our agricultural sector more?
Okay. For now, it's basically simple business, in the sense that we already have existing infrastructure, which is the boda bodas. So if we give the boda bodas another additional factor, another reason as to why they can continue existing in the market, let's say if we are able to turn some of these bikes into farm machineries or into mini tractors, this is going to boost us as a country. It's going to boost our development in the agricultural sector too.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
So what are some of the does it still, because it's still in its development stage, what are some of the limitations that are there that you're still working on?
Some of the limitations we're still working on is there have been challenges, especially with importation of parts. This has proven very costly and sometimes very difficult to bring in parts. And some of other limitations are a stiff competition from established manufacturers. I think those are the most adverse limitations that we are facing.
So you've said stiff competition from established manufacturers of
motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So and the plow bit. So the plow, do you just buy it aside?
Yes. We buy the plow aside. but we fabricate the attachment onto the motorcycle. That is, we fabricate it ourselves.
Okay.
And if adjustments are needed on the implement, we also do that by ourselves. Yes.
Okay. And someone would ask, how economic is using a bike for the farm to the farmer, because it needs the fuel and everything. So yeah.
Okay. So it roughly takes 5,000 to 7,000 Kenya shillings to get a acre of land tilled. You haven't factored in labor and fuel cost for the small scale tractor. So for us, for instance, with the current fuel rates, we can farm an acre with worth 400 to 500 bob of fuel. That's enough to do an acre. Now we are working to roll out a lease protocol where we can lease our bikes for farming. You can come, rent the bike for an hour, get your acre tilled. Yeah.
Okay, so you have mentioned the part of renting the bike. So do you rent the bike, or does someone buy the bike and the plow?
Both. It depends with your pockets. You can lease the bike because there are farmers who don't want to own the machinery, but they can work on a lease protocol. So you can just lease the bike, have it serve for a month for farming, or have it serve for a day or two, and then pay us. We do the transportation, we bring the labor and everything. Now you can also opt to buy the bike. We can have your mini tractor built for you. You can also choose the implements that you love to purchase as your accessories for your bike too.
Okay. And because seeing the video, we're seeing someone else at the back pushing it. So why do you need someone else to help push?
Okay, for now, we are trying to prove the concept that the bike is powerful enough to pull, because as you see, the farm terrain is not that easy. So you need a 20 horsepower plus to pull, if I'm right. And secondly, the bike is already 67%, has a 67% higher power output. So with this, the bike is capable of pulling a plow that is heavy in such a terrain. So right now we are working on eliminating the backside, whereby we're going to have a single user on the bike. The bike is being rode by one person, and the one person still operating the implements at the back.
Okay, so those are some of the things that you're still working on.
Yes.
On the bike. And how has the reception been since you created the bike? Have you sold some? Have you leased some?
Right now, we are focusing on developing the product first. I think we would be ready to roll out the first sales in 2 months' time. Yes, after we've eliminated, as you said, the operator at the back, and we're also working on increasing the power more. So that is something they want to roll out a superior product to the market, so that can give us an edge over the established manufacturers.
Okay, so we tungoja for the great product, the finished product. Okay, this is good. And that last week we had a Campbell Innovation Week, and you guys were there. So how was it there?
The expo was so good. We got the opportunity to meet with serious policy stakeholders in the market, such as the CS of ICT, the governor of Kiambu. They had good plans for us and how they can help us achieve our targets as innovators. But so far, I think as a country and as policymakers, they need to focus on how they can improve us innovators, in the sense that if you see how the Western operate with startup, they have lower bank interest, because startups are very risky to loan out the money. Yeah. But startups are still versatile in adopting harsh market conditions. So I feel they still have a long way to go, but the initiative and the will is really commendable.
It's really that. Okay.
Yes.
And how was the reception from the viewers that were coming to see it? How do you think people are receiving it?
Yes, the idea has been we noticed a lot of interest from people. Previously, even in the JQuat Tech Expo, we were the most interviewed project, also in the Kiambu Expo too. So it shows that people are in need of such a product in the market. It's that they are still waiting for the solution to be brought to them, and we were working on that solution as a team.
Okay, quite interesting. So what is it about innovation for someone who wants to come up with something? So how do you start? Where do you start?
I think it all begins with a passion for what you want to do and dedication. You have to dedicate time and you have to dedicate resources to what you're doing. You also have to do a lot of research because you cannot do it blindly. I think that's really what it takes to innovate.
That's what it takes. It takes passion and dedication and time. When they say, to make it or to be successful, you have to solve a problem in the world. How true is this in regards to innovation?
It's very true, because I believe if you solve a need in the society, the money now, like for instance, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, CEO, he solved the need of showing the essence of business to direct sales from businesses to the consumer. So through this, Jeff got his reward, which is the lump sum of money he has. But for you to reap the rewards in the market, you have to solve something. You have to solve a problem that has been existing or that is going to come up future in the market that you've already focused and seen and you're ready to solve. Once you solve the issue, the rewards, you shall be rewarded greatly.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for the tip. Maybe you can tell us, how does the future of innovation look like in Kenya?
The future of innovation in Kenya is bright. I'd like to also base my comment on what I saw in the expo. There's there's a great number of innovators with very, very innovative ideas. So I would say the future is bright. And if government policies shift to favor startups, I think we would be heading in the correct direction in terms of innovation as a country.
Okay. So Jeff, as Ian comes to the stage, you can be telling us what the future looks like in the mini tractor team. What do you have? What vision do you have for the future?
So as a team, we want to focus on 3 objectives, which is we want to build custom bikes. We're working on a way of how we can use the readily available infrastructure, which is the borders, and how we can turn them into mini tractors. The second objective is we are focusing on how we can improve our accessories, make better and efficient farm accessories for the bike, so that we can have more purpose, like more design purposes for the bike, where the bike can also till, the bike can also mold the terrain and everything. So yeah, and the third objective is building our own bikes, because we are on the way. We want to start on our second prototype for the mini tractor very soon.
Okay. Yeah. And would you is it viable or something? Is it in the future maybe you could have electric bikes, or is that not, that maybe would be expensive or it's not work?
Okay, for the motorcycle industry, the engine technology is still growing at a bit slow pace compared to the car industry, because the concept about the bike engine is still growing. It's still a concept that is still being understood. So we are working on having a hybrid solution that is still electric and also low in the carbon emissions too. But considering the part of the electric engines that you need, the main thing about farming is that you need power. So if I put a weighted plow at the back of an electric bike, the batteries could be catastrophic, might explode because of the power. So, but we are working on how fast we can achieve hybrid engine, then work towards the electric engine.
Okay, thank you. So we have Ian with us. Please introduce yourself. Ndio ulikuwa nyuma ya stage. Amefika sasa. Okay, so tell us what you do. Yes.
I'm Ian. Basically, what can I say? I work with the machines. I love working with the machines. And also,
Okay, unafanya ni part of Y team. What do you do, and what course are you taking?
I'm taking agricultural and biosystems engineering. Same with Peter. What I do mostly, we just do the modifications and the testing.
You're the project engineer. I've heard. What a title.
How
does it feel?
It feels nice, baby.
How do you see, your project going in future, because you've still not rolled it out yet?
Mhm.
Na future iko aje?
Future